Hi there everyone, welcome to this reading. Just go ahead and take a few deep breaths into your body, giving yourself the permission to settle into this moment. Maybe even setting an intention for this reading for yourself, or just allowing whatever needs to come up to come up. Great Spirit, thank you for filling this space with your protective light on all levels, planes, and dimensions. Thank you for allowing me to be an instrument of healing energy of the highest light, resonance, and accuracy. Thank you for allowing those who need this message to receive it with grace, ease, clarity, and direction. And so it is. So whatever collective I'm reading for, this is very energetically heavy. And I don't mean heavy in a negative way. I just mean there's a lot of wands here, which is ungrounded energies. It is perhaps creative energies. It is us directing our energies in ways that are building towards the direction we want to move in life. So the first card that we pulled is the Four of Ankhs. So in this deck, Ankhs are connected with swords. So the Four of Ankhs, this is about creating and fortifying the mind. Protecting and fortifying the mind is what I meant to say. Right now, it's imperative that you create a structure and a sense of discipline in your mental body so that the creative energies that you are trying to channel or root into the physical have a healthy foundation to start with. The Four of Ankhs to me is really protecting your mental health, be it your inner dialogue, what you are listening to, whether it's the type of music or the type of television. If it is not helpful, healthy, or necessary in this moment, it needs to be, you need to protect the energy, protect yourself from that. We also have the Four of Wands here, okay? And the Four of Wands, you know, as I read intuitively, this can mean different things to different people. But with these two together, these two fours are about structure, foundation, something to build upon. And the Four of Wands to me in this moment is about taking action towards building a life that you are in love with. Getting clear on your vision. And the only way we can get clear is to protect that mental body so that we don't get distracted by other people's you should or you shouldn't kind of energy, okay? The Five of Wands here is saying that in order for this structure and this energy to land in your life at a mental and energetic level, is there's some sort of cycle that needs to break. So there's somewhere where we are fixated or focusing in the wrong direction, or energetically anchored or investing in the wrong direction, and we need to break that cycle. I feel like that cycle's not going to break itself. It's you that has to break the cycle. And with the Six of Wands, this is telling me that this hasn't been an easy process for you. There perhaps are some entanglements with relationships, personal, professional, or both, that you feel like your safety and security are bound to that. But these wands are showing changes on the horizon, and that it's perhaps time to uproot and reroute your sense of safety and sovereignty in something that's more self-sustainable long term. Okay, so you have to do what's right for you. You have to make the right decisions for yourself. You have to, make sure that you're paying your bills and all of that stuff. But this is an indication that it may be time to change where you are relying on your structure, and to be able to give yourself the permission to dream bigger and aim higher, because the Six of Wands tells us that on the other side of this change and this breakthrough is success. So it only feels big right now, it only feels scary right now, but on the other side of it, there is that success and victory. I'm being told also to go in a totally different direction with this message too. Getting a little more personal, like in your personal life. This could be a partnership or a relationship. This could be a romantic connection or a friendship that needs reevaluating whether it is solid and stable in its current condition. And if it's not, if we're caught in these cycles of hot, cold, off, on, things are good, then things are not good. Every relationship has its ups and downs, but if this is serious mental, energetic, emotional whiplash, a cycle needs to break here. So either this person that I'm talking about and this partnership or this friendship, this other person is either willing to change with you or they're not. And that's not your responsibility. Your responsibility is to choose what can I choose that will move me into being a successful being. And again, that structure may need to change. Because healing needs to occur. Massive healing needs to occur. So the Star card pops out. And the Star card can represent freedom. Freedom from this, cycle. Freedom from this being bound and stuck in this, kind of cyclical behavior. The Star card asks you to open your third eye, your crown chakra, and even your heart space to receiving messages from the divine in what you need in order to free yourself from this not quite healthy cycle. Because healing is needing to occur. The High Priestess says you intuitively know. You know what you need to do. And the High Priestess is saying it's time to honor that inner knowing within yourself. You are, maybe this structure and this cycle once served a purpose. Maybe this connection or partnership once served a purpose, but maybe it's done, it's completed, or at least in its current version, it's completed. And now you need to trust your inner gift, your inner knowing, your inner psychic, your inner intuitive. Like, they know what they are trying to show you. So don't ignore your spirit-given gifts and the messages that you're receiving. Yeah, so it feels like with this change, there is a cycle coming to an end here. There is something, as I look deeper into this, there's something that is depleting your energy and depleting your life force. The Nine of Ankh says that we're almost done with this cycle. We're almost done with this. And the Seven of Ankhs is asking yourself to be honest, to be truthful with yourself, to be willing to walk through a different gateway, a different path than the cyclical behavior. You know, with this energy, maybe it was we were playing a game with this other individual or partnership. We were playing a lower game, but we're not there anymore. As the Star and the High Priestess has indicated, that that's no longer sustainable. Nine of Ankhs. And so the Eight of Ankhs is asking you to free yourself. You are the one that can free yourself from this. You can unbind yourself from this at some level. At some level, there is a self-infliction of this perpetuation of this not so healthy or toxic cycle. And you hold the key to say, this changes with me, or I no longer am willing to participate this way. It takes some humility, it takes honesty, and it takes reverence to the call of what your higher self is trying to guide you towards. A better way of being, a peaceful way of being, not perpetuating this toxicity. Okay. This feels a little heavy for somebody, and it feels heavy because it feels like this is a soul lesson, or some sort of karmic tie that's coming to an end. Yes, the Hermit. So this is something that is coming to an end. And it's almost done. We're almost through this. This has been a very difficult lesson for whatever collective I'm reigning for. The Hermit is pulling back the energy, retreating back into oneself. The journey, you're reaching the summit, okay? You are coming to the apex of this soul lesson. And in that, there is an ending to something with this person or situation. And the Hermit says we need to take a moment of stillness to reflect on the wisdom that you've gained through this very difficult, uncomfortable, not so pleasant situation. The Hermit carries the lantern of that wisdom, and that lantern is going to be the guiding light of the next steps that you take on your journey. So as you move into this new chapter and this new cycle, you're not going into it not knowing. You do have knowing. We have the High Priestess, we have the Hermit, we have the Star. These are all higher intelligence, higher consciousness, deeper wisdom energies. So even though the journey, as you turn this corner, it may feel new, you are remembering that you have everything you need within you for the next right step. And the Strength card. I mean, very, very appropriate. And such beautiful big energies, right? So we have the Star, we have the High Priestess, we have the Hermit, we have the Strength card. So the Strength card is the willingness. It's a few things I'm feeling. It's the willingness to see what part of ourselves is contributing to the self-sabotage or the perpetuation, and pulling that energy and transmuting that quote-unquote dark aspect of ourselves, shedding light on that with awareness and integrating it into something that can strengthen or feed into the journey ahead. The Strength card is also the overcoming of this difficulty. And to be courageous and brave enough to try it a new way, to try a new way. Queen of Cups. So the Queen of Cups, queens to me are like containers. They're like the womb space. And in this aspect, we get to choose what we fill in that container or womb space. The Divine Feminine here is asking you to step into a higher nurturing, kindness, compassion, gentleness, and love for yourself. To really prioritize your needs and your wants right now, even if it breaks that norm that you're used to. You're creating a new normal for yourself through this transitional time. So the Queen of Cups is really asking yourself, you know, if you're still dealing with some difficulty in breaking this cycle, ask yourself, is this what love looks like to me? Is this how I would love? Is this how I would want to receive love? And if the answer is no, then it's time to step into the mode of the Hermit and let that aspect of the journey be done so that you can move into this power, move into this strength within yourself. And the bottom of the deck is the Ace of Wands. We will end there. So aces are divine cards to me. God, Goddess, all that is, Spirit, whatever works for you. This is the universe gifting you the power of action, of creating. It's like the universe saying, here, you've come to this point where you get to co-create a new beginning for yourself. This is you stepping into a higher sense of self-mastery. And the Ace of Wands, utilize this and take advantage of this time, okay? You know, I don't say this with like fear or anything, but take advantage of this opportunity while it's here. Okay, because it may not always be there. And the universe is saying it's now time. The universe is saying your higher self trusts you enough to take this wand of creation to create new. Okay, so stepping into a higher sense of self-mastery, letting that inner fire of passion and pleasure and purpose guide you. If you'd like a private session, I will leave the information in the description below. Please like, please subscribe. It does help the channel, and I would be just so grateful. And I will talk to you guys soon. Be well, be blessed.